In this video, I'm going to show you how to use the Shape Builder tool in Adobe Illustrator to make pretty darn good logos that are simple yet effective. Now, the Shape Builder tool is something that I have been using more often in my designing because it allows for a more efficient logo design process. With the Shape Builder tool, you can take simple shapes, put them together to make more complex shapes that can produce a lot of good design. In a lot of the work that I've been doing lately that involves portraits, for example, to get the proportions of a human head right, or to do any kind of animal or anything like that, you can just take the shapes and position them in a way over top of the reference photo and then merge those shapes together into one shape that you can design from. So let's see how this would work out to make a simple logo / icon of a bird, using a bird photo as a reference and then taking the simple shapes, combining them to make something that could symbolize a bird. So you got this bird here. So how can we use the Shape Builder tool for this? So you can actually place shapes over the bird and then combine those shapes into the silhouette that you would use to depict a bird type logo. So let's see. So we take the ellipse tool. If you want a perfect circle, hold Option and Shift. Because if you just hold Option, you're pulling from the center. Whereas if you hold just Shift, you're going to get the perfect circle, but you're pulling from the corner. Combining both of those things get you pulling from the center and it's a perfect circle. So that's typically what I will do. To know how a series of shapes will overlay on your image, you have to take the fill out so you can see how they overlay, and then you can see how you might want to move forward in the future. You want to try to use as few shapes as possible, just so that when you go into the Shape Builder tool and you do that, you won't have so many like nooks and crannies that you need to make sure that are included in the silhouette. The big thing is you want to get the curves. You want to get the edges. The edges are the most important thing, because if you get the edges, no matter how many shapes you use, once you combine them, you'll get the silhouette you want. So instead of trying to take the pen tool and trace around the bird, this is another way that you could do it. Also, when you're using the shape tool, if you hold Option and you already have a shape selected, you'll see the two arrows there. That means that as long as you're holding the Option, you can click on the shape and automatically duplicate it and place it somewhere, and then you can let go. And the thing is, you're not trying to get everything perfect. Like, you just want the general shape to be something that can be recognizable at the end. So this is my somewhat crude attempt at just the silhouette itself. So take the stroke off. I take the stroke off because I use it as a guide at first, but now I want to make sure that the stroke being on there is not concealing smaller parts that I'm going to have to deal with later. So now we do the Shape Builder tool. So as you can see, as I'm hovering over it, the Shape Builder tool is for creating new shapes by combining and erasing parts of simpler ones. So with this bird, I'm trying to take the simple shapes, because using the simple shapes instead of trying to do everything manually allows you a higher probability of smoothness of the edges and a cohesion that you may not get if you're trying to do it freehand. as you can see, as I hover over and I'm in the shape builder mode, you see how it's saying since it overlaps, it's showing you where things overlap and where a shape can be built from. Right, so I click and hold, and then I just go over the places where I'm going over the places where I want those shapes to be included in the overall silhouette. So I change that and I color it in, and boom. Not the best bird, but it just illustrates what I'm trying to teach with the shape builder tool, like how you can do that. Now, once you do that, you can take the anchor point tool and you can manipulate certain things to go more smoothly. So now once you get just a silhouette that you wear, and again, the silhouette doesn't have to exactly match what you're trying to do. It can just be good enough to where you're getting proportions right. So let's say I'm doing something that I want to do some shapes. Let's say I want to make a letter, but in a certain style. One of the things I want to do is make sure when you're combining circles and square shapes, you want to make sure that the midpoint of the circle matches one of the anchor points of the rectangle. See how you're making sure that this anchor point and that this anchor point is overlapping. So let's say I want to do something creative here. So there's so many different things you can see within this. Like, so say you just want to make a stylish H. You combine all of this. And now you have that. Now you have that shape. Make sure I take all of that. Oh. Or maybe you want this H to be a little more stylized at the ends here, or on the sides here. So then let's go back. We have an overlap. Maybe you just want this part. I have an interesting H here, or going back, maybe I ain't worried about the H. Maybe you just want these things here. See what I'm saying? Like, there's so many different things you can do with the shape builder tool. As long as you overlap different shapes to be what you want them to be, then you just are using the shape builder tool to pick out which shape you want to work with. Like I said, I use the shape builder tool a lot for portrait logos. I used it with the Kang just to get the head, because when you're dealing with the anatomy, I'm learning, things, how you draw drawing anatomically correct. You do for a head, okay, you do a circle and you place the ears where you want them to be, and then you take the rest of the head, and then you get that the way you want it to go, and then you bring it together. So I've done it for King the Conqueror. I did it for T'Challa. I even used it on my Dora Milaje thing. Like, the shape builder tool has helped me a lot. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Let me know in the comment section down below, have you used the shape builder tool? What do you think of the shape builder tool? And do you want me to do more of these hands-on tutorials in the future? Remember, as you go along in life, teach as you learn and inspire as you do. See y'all next time.